Well, it's another early start and I'm down in the farm again. I've only arrived and I've managed to set the camera up and started recording. I'm still trying to get the rifle out of the rifle slip and get it loaded and ready. But I thought I would show you the footage here of roughly how many birds is flying about here and what they're here for. Now, the farmer, he puts out silage for the cattle, which is just below that top rail there. And he mixes meal up in with the silage to benefit the cattle's diet, of course. But the birds have found this, and you'll see in a minute the birds poke through the silage after whatever pieces of meal they can find. Now, as well as stealing meal that's supposed to go to the cattle, which hurts the farmer's pocket in the long run, they also enjoy sitting up on top of that top rail there, and birds will do what birds do, cut loose and dung over the top of the silage, as well as the bars to the pen. You can see the white marks with the bird dung all along the pen and the bars. And of course that big blue feeder there is full of meal for the cattle. It's really set up for the calves, and the birds will fly in and out of the feeder and steal the meal out of it as well. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like the idea of somebody dunging on my breakfast, so this makes the birds rather unpopular with the farmer. So that's why I'm here. So I finally got myself up into my shooting position, camera rolling, and it's not long before I get my first opportunity. This bird here is sitting about 32 yards. And dropping with a shot to the heart and lungs. Now, so the dead bird doesn't spook the rest of the birds from coming down where I can get a shot at them, I'll go forward and lift it. But it's inside this feeder here, so if I knew that it was lying out of sight, I wouldn't have went forward and spooked the rest of the birds, but you live and learn. Now, it's not long before I get another opportunity. This magpie lands about 30 yards away, and I decide to go for a headshot. But just miss him. The pellet plucks one or two feathers out of the back of its neck on the way by. I get an opportunity at jackdaw on the left here, but you can see the beast looking straight down the camera at me, so it's a no-goer. But sometimes that happens working around livestock. You just have to be very careful to pick and choose your shots, make sure they're safe. This magpie lands in the post about 35 yards away, but just as I'm ready to take the shot, he decides to clear off. Now, I've noticed a feral pigeon fly into the shed here, and he lands in this beam along the back wall about 25 yards away. These birds have been making quite a mess here, and I decide to take a heart and lung shot because I want the pellet to slow down as much as possible before hitting the tin at the back there, so it doesn't put any more holes in it than what there already is. The shot's good, but the bird flies through into the next door shed. So to make sure it's down for good, I'll go round to pick it up. That got about 15 yards and dropped dead. Surprising really it got that distance, because you can see the shot's good. Struck it in the chest. Now, I've been hearing a lot of cooing and the odd flapping of wings about the rest of the shed, so I went to investigate and found a few more pigeons. Now, this bird's only about 20 yards along the back wall, but you can see it's sitting on top of a couple of electric wires, so I have to be careful where I place my pellet. Again, I'll go for a heart and lung shot to slow the pellet down as much as possible before hitting the tin at the back. The shot's good, but the bird still flies to the other side of the barn and drops dead among them bales. But I see a second bird sitting along the back wall here, I've got a good safe backstop with that wooden beam, and I decided to go for a headshot. Then I spot a third bird up in the rafters above me. You can see by the whitish tufts along the back of its neck it's a young bird, which sort of proves that even at this time of year these birds will breed all year round. Now I'm just waiting for him to hold his head still enough in front of that angle iron behind him to give me a backstop. Takes a wee bit of patience, but I finally get there in the end. That's the second bird I shot along the back wall. The first bird landed down in among these bales here. And thankfully I managed to retrieve it without almost breaking my neck like I did the last time. The third bird fell in under this owl. I think it's an owl massey. It's seen better days by the looks of it, but I think it's still serviceable yet. You can see the amount of mess even 15-20 birds can cause over the last year or more. This was all power hosed out and cleaned when the farmer quit the Welcome, and he's not terribly happy with the state of it now. But that's 4 feral pigeons less and 1 jackdaw in the bag.